Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
There's a new way to move in Grenada. Ride Go. Ride Go is here. Ride Go. Where do you want to go?
Right along live, welcome to the live. Welcome to Monday on the Ride. It's not just Monday. It's not just any Monday. It is Monday in a brand new year. It's 2026. Yes, 2026. So happy New Year's. Happy first Monday of the year. Yeah. Happy Monday, guys. Happy New Year. Good evening to you, Alicia Gibson. Welcome to the Ride. Welcome to the Ride. Welcome to the Ride. Yes. Brenda, welcome to the Ride. Happy New Year. Everyone. Listen, guys, and I said this last year at the beginning of 2025. I said this year is going to run real fast, guys. So don't wait. Don't procrastinate. If you have something that you have planned to do, start on it. No, we are already the 5th day. This is the 5th day. 5-0. Yeah, 5-0, the 5th day in the year already. And the time is not waiting. The time is not waiting on nobody. Jake, how you doing? Happy New Year to you. Guys, at followers. Let me do it as well. At followers, at highlights, at followers, whichever. Yes? Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm still in Grenada, so I got a chance to meet some of our diehard riders as I traverse, the beautiful island of Grenada. Hot sun, great people, nice vibe. And I didn't miss the cold one bit. No. Someone asked, why you're taking in all the sun? Why you're not back in New York? I said, why? It's cold out there. Stay here. Rachel Botang, how you doing? Thank you so much. All right, guys. So today, I kind of want to glide right in, right? Because we have a hard stop in 50 minutes, and I want to try to get in as much as possible on this discussion. This is something that everyone have been talking about, and I think it's important that we get your views on it as well, right? Unless you've been hiding under a rock someplace, you would have heard about the indictment. First, the removal of a Venezuelan president, Nicolás Maduro, and his wife on Saturday morning at about early morning. The U.S. federal DA, the military went in and took out Nicolás Maduro. And that is after months of the U.S. taking military action against small cruise vessels, small boats within the Caribbean region, right? We've been speaking about it. I did numerous vlogs on it. Some of the most the biggest and most equipped U.S. assets was moved into the Caribbean region, and it was a foregone conclusion that they're not just there to serve the Venezuelan cake and ice cream. So they were there for a specific reason, and on Saturday, it all happened. The Venezuelan president, Nicolás Maduro, and his wife was taken out of Venezuela and flown into the United States to face charges. And currently, as we saw today, there was his first court appearance. Now, two things we want to talk about today. As you can see on my screen there, we have a split screen. We have the indictment on the top of the screen. We have a video from earlier today with the first court appearance. And of course, your legal expert, Dionne Wynter Pfunde, is going to kind of help us understand the indictment here a bit. But to summarize the indictment, guys, the indictment basically read like a novel. It says that for the past 25 years, when a Venezuelan leader are alleged to have abused public office and corrupt state institution to facilitate large-scale cocaine trafficking into the United States, with Nicolás Maduro described as a central figure of the network. So they're accusing the Venezuelan president of being the kingpin of this major drug operation or conspiracy, right? That's a key word to note here, because a lot of the indictment speaks about machine guns and different things. Doesn't necessarily mean that Nicolás Maduro himself was the one that selling the drugs or delivering the drugs, but the indictment is stating that he was a part of a bigger conspiracy. So he was a part of that bigger organization. So they say that according to the allegation, Maduro used the authority across multiple government roles, from National Assembly member to Foreign Affairs Minister to President, to protect the drug shipment, provide diplomatic cover, and passport traffickers, and help launder drug proceeds, right? The document further states that the several co-defendant in this case, because again, the indictment is speaking to a larger conspiracy, saying that here that the several co-defendant and related assets are beyond the court's reach. So there is a lot more, and prompting the U.S. authority to seek forfeiture of subsidies and properties under the federal law, right? We did also see the President of the United States made a statement, a press release shortly after Maduro was taken out of Venezuela. And it's very controversial. A lot of people is questioning what he meant by it when he said that, well, what the question was, what would happen now? And his statement was that the U.S. will run Venezuela. That is causing a lot of question within the Venezuelan community and the wider region. So again, let's bring in my guest right here, attorney at law Dionne Wynter Pfunde, who is normally here to talk about immigration, but she is a lawyer and she got a chance to take a look at all of the indictments and what all these stuff means from a legal perspective, and break it down to us in layman terms. Dionne Wynter Pfunde, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today? Let me unmute you.
Can you hear me? Test, test, test.
Yes. All right.
Testing. Good evening. As we would say, what kind of bangarang? We have just removed sitting press to skim this almost 20 and this man is being charged in preparation. Junior, I had to say to myself, U.S. ever done something, and I found something similar, and by we have not declared war.
Right. Hold on, Dionne. Hold on 1 second, Dionne. I don't know if it's my end. Are you hearing me? I'm not sure if it's my end. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's my end, but your audio is kind of breaking up. It's kind of breaking up in my ear. All right, so do me a favor, Pfunde. Just refresh and come back in, and let me see if we can get you a little bit clearer, because your audio is breaking up a bit. there. So just refresh, just go back out and come back in. Again, guys, we're talking live here with Dionne Wynter Pfunde on the indictment, right, of Nicolás Maduro. As I said earlier, on Saturday. And I'm sure that you guys saw what happened. I'm sure that you guys was privy to some of the footage that we put here on Ride Along Live on what actually happened and how it happened. So let's bring back in Dionne Wynter Pfunde. Let's see if we could get her in there.
Yes.
Dionne, you there?
Test. Can you hear me? Is that
Right.
better?
I'm hearing you much better now. Much better.
Love it. Yes. So thanks, Jay. I'm glad you're covering this topic because I know a lot of times we like to say this is not in my backyard, but now it's in our backyard, right? So when we look at the instances, I had to look back. When has the United States used military force to remove sitting presidents? And I came up, I don't know, people might come up with more. I came up with 3. I came up with Manuel Noriega in Panama. This was back in 1989. John Bertrand Aristide of Haiti in 1994. And then most recently, and I remember this one vividly because I was in high school at this time, Saddam Hussein out of Iraq in 2003. So those are 3 clear instances when the United States have used military power. Remember, United States and Venezuela are not at war. They never declared war on Venezuela. So, it begs the question, and I know a lot of people will be asking this, why now? Because we're saying this has been going on for 20, 25 years. It begs the question strategically, why now? Why did the United States go into Venezuela using military force to remove, and I do quote unquote, a sitting president?
Yes, and that is the big question, right? And we will talk about the legality of the action of the United States to go in and also the implication, right? Mm-hmm. So that means that, probably every world leader is shaking in the boots right now.
Exactly. That means you can do that to Jamaica. I would say, hey, Mr. Prime Minister of Jamaica, be careful because you can be removed. The United States can remove you from your seat. Mm-hmm. Right. And I used to say it's not in our backyard, but we've seen it happen. Panama, we've seen it happen in Haiti. We've seen it happen in the Middle East with Saddam Hussein. And now we're seeing it happen in our lifetime inside of Venezuela.
Yeah. I want to look at the core of this indictment, Pfunde, right? What is really is being alleged here? What is it, and how serious are these allegations against Nicolás Maduro?
These are some serious allegations: narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import, and what gets me is all these conspiracy charges. And somebody mentioned Gaddafi. I did leave out Gaddafi. Good job, Lydia. Conspiracy to import, conspiracy to use. So they're treating him as part of this larger criminal enterprise. So it doesn't mean that he was directly involved, but he is also a conspirator. When you look at the indictment and how the charges were laid, it took to me, it's a lot of creative lawyering. The conspiracy looks like when you're charging somebody with something, but you're not sure what it is. So you're just throwing all of the charges and hope something will stick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then I'm thinking if I were his lawyer, I'd be raising the question of jurisdiction, whether New York is the proper jurisdiction for him. If what we're saying is allegedly true, is New York, is the United States the proper venue or jurisdiction in which he should be charged? Because they're charging him. He's going to trial. We see that. They've charged him and he's been indicted and he's going to trial in the state of New York.
What I don't understand is how do you tie a person in a conspiracy charge? In this particular case here, Nicolás Maduro, who is the president of a country, sitting president of a country, he was not the one. Could they prove that he was the one that furnished it? Could they prove that he was the one that allowed it? Is there any hard facts or any hard evidence that they could stick to Maduro that he was a part of this.
And I think all of us will be holding our breath to see what evidence they have. So when we think of a conspirator, Jay, you can either be a conspirator before, during, or after. So you and I sit down and we say, Jay, I have 3 guns and I want you to help me sell them. You don't know where I got the guns from, but you know what? You're a conspirator after because I have these illegal guns and I come to you. So you now become a part of this scheme. You may not have seen the gun. You may not know where the gun is, but you and I had a conversation about this gun. And then it becomes, what is your responsibility? Should you have reported me to the correct authorities? When does the conspiracy begin? When does the conspiracy end? So I think a lot of folks will be holding our breath to see what evidence, if any, and I'm sure the DOJ has some evidence, right? What evidence will they have to support these charges?
You spoke about it earlier, right? And I heard on CNN and other news media of this being so unprecedented. How really unprecedented is this, where you have the United States, right, coming in or going into a particular country? I know we spoke about Libya and other countries, but how unprecedented it is for a sitting former head of state to be accused of using the government institution to facilitate drug trafficking.
I don't think it's far-fetched. I think this is the first time that I've seen the United States go after a sitting president and talk about narco-terrorism, saying, it's almost like they're saying, you should have stopped this. You're in a position to stop it. You should have stopped it. We have not seen, and I'm looking, we have not seen where the United States has removed sitting presidents like this outside of extraordinary circumstances. If we look back at Iraq, weapons of mass destruction, when we go back and look historically when we have removed presidents, I feel like, I personally, and my opinion doesn't matter, but this I think is a little far-fetched, and I would love to see what evidence the United States has. I want to see the evidence. And I think a lot of us will be watching this trial. The world will be watching this trial because we want to see the evidence that they're going to use to convict, if we get a conviction, the evidence that will be used to support these charges.
Yeah, guys, again, we're chatting here with Dionne Wynter Pfunde, and we're talking about this particular issue right here, the indictment of Nicolás Maduro. He's currently in New York right now. His court appearance was today. Pfunde, what does this indictment reveal about the level of institutional corruption inside of Venezuela? I know it has not been proven as yet, but they're essentially saying that every arm of government is a part of the bigger facility, like the government itself is set up to just traffic drugs. That's what they do, every institution. What does that reveal about the institutional corruption inside of Venezuela over the past decade or so?
So here's what I've seen, and I kind of talked to you a little bit about this before. I've had a lot, and it's almost, I'm saying the United States is being a little hypocritical, right? On one hand, I've had a lot of cases where individuals have said, this country is deep in corruption. Individuals with their asylum claims. Hear me out. Individuals with asylum claims have talked about the Sinaloa cartel. They have talked about the FARCs. These are individuals that have run away from Venezuela and they've ran to the United States for safety. We know about the Sinaloa cartels and the land grabs. This has been a common thing in Venezuela. However, we can never win a case in front of an immigration judge on that basis. However, based on this indictment, it supports everything what Venezuelans have been saying about their country for decades. So on one hand, the United States is saying, look, it's not as corrupt. But on the other hand, in this indictment is saying, look, it is deep, deep, deep corruption. So this is a telling indictment. If we have the evidence to support it, this is going to be a rather telling indictment. For some Venezuelans, they're going to say, we've been telling you this all along. We've talked about how we've been persecuted. We've talked about the corruption in our home country. However, you didn't believe us. However, now you do.
Yeah. And I saw this video. I saw videos, and I'm sure it was all over social media, where we have Venezuelan in the diaspora and locally celebrating.
Yes.
Right. And I had to stop and say, okay, so what are they really celebrating? we heard that, of course, Maduro was taken out of Venezuela by the U.S. And then the president said that, okay, Venezuela, but even before that, he said it was about the oil. Then he said that the U.S. will run Venezuela. And then on a split screen, we're seeing people celebrating. So what are they really celebrating? Like based on what major or minor communication you had with Venezuela and understanding of it, what are they really celebrating? Are they celebrating that Trump is going to be ruling them?
I think here, let me tell you something about the Hispanic community and Trump. They have a love-hate relationship with this man. You have half of them that love the president, the current administration. You have another half that hates everything he does. There are Venezuelans in the diaspora who supports this. They've wanted this. They wanted this man gone. And you have some who do not. They still want him in power. And we have to be careful, because when we look at countries where the leader has been removed, you know what comes next: a potential civil war. That's what we've seen, and countries take a very, very long time to recover. And as far as Venezuela is concerned, those citizens have been misplaced for a number of years. They're going into Guyana. They're coming into the United States. They've taken over Trinidad and Tobago. So we know that the Venezuelan people have been displaced for a very, very, very long time. So yes, some of them will be celebrating the removal of their leader, Maduro, from office. There will be some celebration. I think it's going to be 50-50.
But I'm sure they're not celebrating the fact that the idea that now their resources for the country would be run by Trump and Rubio. I don't think that they're celebrating that.
No. I think somebody will be put in place. There will be a transition period, as we've seen in when we have seen things of this sort happening. There will be some kind of transition. I will be curious to see how Venezuela recovers. It will not be quick. I'll be curious if there won't be this attempt, the grab of power, like who now goes into leadership in Venezuela, and what does this mean? And there's this little known thing. Venezuela is one of the largest producers of oil.
Yes.
So, I mean, we don't want to not talk about the elephant in the room. And we know that the U.S. company Exxon, that controlled a lot of Venezuelan oil for a very, very, very long time, that was taken back. So there's a lot of things politically that we're going to see shaping out in the next couple of weeks or months, as it pertains to Venezuela.
Again, guys, 718-701-5720. We're taking your call live on air. We're talking about the situation here, Venezuela, the United States. The president right now, Nicolás Maduro, is being indicted in a New York court. And then, when people hear that, they say, wait, no.
Like, it doesn't even sound right. It doesn't sound right.
Could even get a fair trial.
Because we at least want to say, wait, we've declared war in Venezuela and this is what's happening. And you know what? It's funny because in the Caribbean, we knew strategically what was happening. Because remember when the U.S. asked Grenada, remember a while back we were talking about it when the U.S. asked Grenada, hey, can we just catch a plane over Yasso? Can we just catch a ship? Remember that was a conversation where
when they wanted to put a radar there. They wanted to put a radar in Morris Bishop International Airport.
Exactly. And we what is going on? Why? And fishermen were reporting their boats being bombed, and it's not even making the news. So all of this was happening in our backyards, and we're like, what is happening? And it's only in the last few months we realized, okay, it was military presence. They were in the process of taking out a sitting leader. But the U.S., we do have the world police powers, and we do what we want. And this is one of those cases where I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. I'm just saying, hey, did we do it the right way? Did we dot our I's and cross our T's? Or did we just go in through the back door a little bit because we could?
Again, guys, you could pose your question here live. You could call in live, or you could post it in the chat. What role does Nicolás Maduro, he being a sitting president of Venezuela, does he have any diplomatic privilege at this point in time? How does that shield him from any activity?
Well,
alleged.
I think it's going to be semantics, because I was talking to a friend of mine before I came on, and I think the U.S. is going to say, we did not recognize you as a leader, as a president, because you lost the election. So that's going to be the little tiptoe. But I say, that's not our place. He's a sitting president. He's a leader of the country. So I think we should have done it the right way. But yes, I would look at diplomatic immunity or even presidential, whatever immunity powers he has. I would imagine his attorneys are going to invoke them, as they should. As they should. And I like to say the world is going to be watching us. Are we going to be the bullies of the world where we're like, look, you mess with us, we're coming for you? But I would imagine he can evoke some immunity based on his office, or even think of him being like, it's like somebody capturing, okay, let's say then he's not the sitting leader. It's like somebody capturing like a President Obama or a President Biden. They still have some immunity. They still do get some protection.
Okay. Did you see?
The rules don't apply. That's what I'm saying. I said that as far as the UN and everything, it's almost like a joke. It's like the rules do not apply to us. I am not saying the US shouldn't have done what they've done. I'm just saying, hey, did you follow protocol?
Right. And someone would say, okay, so what's the protocol? What's the right way? If there is evidence, credible evidence that a particular state is somehow harboring or terrorism or even harboring drug that is being exported to damage another country, what would be the correct path to take in order to
declare war? Use our war powers, declare war on them and follow that. That's what we've done. I think we did that in Iraq. We declare war on them. I think this was it wasn't so quietly done. It was just done. Like, he's out. Let's just go and get him.
Right.
You're talking about a leader of a nation. And we have to look at the impact that this is going to have on a very, very, very fragile economy that is Venezuela.
What about a wider investigation that could be triggered from this indictment into other politician or military figures of the region? Already, we're hearing Colombia name calling.
It's possible.
Cuba name calling, because
it's possible. It's possible.
Rubio, of course, he's of Cuban parentage, and I even think, Trump 101. Even before that, Rubio, we all know the relationship that his family had leaving Cuba. So, is this sending a message to Colombia and Cuba?
I think it's sending a message to lots of countries in the region. It's sending a loud message about and everybody knows the United States has reach. We know that, right? We have one of the most powerful military on planet Earth. So I think it's sending a lot of message to other countries, to other leaders, especially because you would think that there would be a statement from the United Nations or somebody getting involved to say, how did we follow protocol? I'm not hearing any pushback. I'm not hearing anything. Nobody's questioning what happened. So if I were a neighbor, if I were Cuba, I were Colombia, I would be looking at this and saying, am I next?
Right. Well, we did see a statement posted by CARICOM.
Poor CARICOM. CARICOM is not even for us. Like, we can say whatever we want, but do you really think anybody's going to pay attention to what CARICOM says?
True. Yeah, CARICOM put out a statement. And some people were saying, well, why CARICOM and do more? I don't know what CARICOM could do.
What is CARICOM going to do?
Yeah, I don't know what CARICOM will round up some police officers in Grenada and in Jamaica.
CARICOM cannot do anything. CARICOM cannot do anything. Nothing can be done by CARICOM. This is bigger than us. We're talking about a military operation in our backyards. What were we going to do? Nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing we could do. We could probably write an article or have conversations like this, but there's nothing that CARICOM could have done.
Right. And do you think going into this, we heard that, okay, well, this war is going to be supported by Russia And
War? We're at war? Wait.
We're not war. Let me not say war. Lord have mercy. No
Are we
war
at
was
war,
declared.
Ruben? We're
No
not at
war was
war.
declared, right? We didn't
They have
declare
not
war.
declared war.
But this fight, and what Trump and the administration say it's war on drugs. That's the term.
I think
But
that's what they called it when I lived in the Bronx too, when they were locking up all the African American men in the
yeah,
Bronx in the
war on
90s.
drugs.
They
Yeah.
called it a war on drugs. Yeah.
Yes. So they said that the friends of Venezuela is not going to allow this. China is not going to allow this. Russia is not going to allow this. What is Russia and China saying? Have you heard anything? Is Russia?
I haven't seen anything. I'm not saying they haven't said anything. I have not seen anything from China or Russia. I have not seen anything. I don't want to overspeak, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen any friends of Venezuela coming out and saying anything. And then what are they going to do? Embargoes? Like,
Well, what they were saying, this was just too easy. Like, I got up in the middle of the night, right? And I heard that they were dropping bombs in Venezuela. And the next minute, I heard he was captured. Like, what kind of protection? Did he have any? Did the people around him sell him out? he's right there.
Jay, I think you got to put this into perspective. We're talking about how large is Venezuela?
Venezuela is about 28 million people. It's about the size of Texas.
How large is their military? You're talking about the United States of America. This is not USA going against one of the other powers of the world. We're talking about, come on, it's a small country.
Let me tell you something. In 1983, right?
Yes.
The US invaded Grenada.
I remember.
Right?
Yes.
Grenada put up a bigger fight
than Venezuela.
I want to laugh at the whole thing, Pfunde. But it was too quick. Like the Cuban on the airports put up a stronger fight than the people that was around Maduro.
It was strategically done, and I'm sure, we have our intelligence. I don't pretend to know anything about our armed forces, but I'm sure we have our intelligence.
Right.
I'm sure we have our intelligence.
Yeah. And people are saying this. I don't know if this is true. Remember, they had a $50 million bounty on his head, right? Did somebody sell him out? Did the people in his inner circle just said, you know what, bombs are dropping? Yo, he's right there, man. Look at him right there.
Go get him.
Go get him like he's right. Somebody sold him out. Because what about your bunker? What about your steel bunker? Wouldn't you be there? From the minute time you hear the first bomb drop, go into your bunker. Like, do what you need to do. How did they get to him so fast is the big question.
Strategy. And I imagine our Marines went in.
Yeah, as I said, and somebody said that to me. Grenada and Cuba on the airport put up a stronger fight against the United States in 1983 than we saw here. 2 bombs dropped.
I just got some intelligence that over 90 of his soldiers died. So people died.
That's something that we're not talking about, eh?
People died. So it wasn't that easy.
You're right. That is something that we're not talking about. That is something that we're not talking about. We're talking, and the narrative is, and that is not good, that, okay, well, they just flew over Venezuela, grabbed Maduro and his wife, flew back into New York. That is not what happened. They dropped bombs, people died. And the places that they bombed, of course, there was people there. There were civilians there. There were people that was working there. Whether it's military base, close to military base, people died. We don't even know how much people that died. It's like the news is not covering it. Nobody's talking about this. What happened to all these people that died?
And I think this will go down in history. And like I said, Jay, I want to see how Venezuela is going to recover. Faraz Khan said his vice president sold him out. We don't know the intelligence that we had, right? We have intelligence before we go in. It's strategy. It's not just we're going to grab him today. There's strategy. There's plan. There's lots of things that went into this. And I think we're learning about it now. But I guarantee with all the movement that we've seen throughout the Caribbean in the last few months, I remember months ago, people are saying their fishing boats are getting blown up. I'm like, what do you mean? fishing boats. This has been going on for some time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It has been, and again, I don't know what type of defense, what type of assistance. I don't know if there is or will be any kind of assistance that could be rendered, right, or had been rendered to the military of Venezuela. But it was just too snappy. Now, the other thing that I want to touch on, Funde, really quickly is that Venezuela already have a constitution. They already have a power, like how power is. Like you have the president, you have
The
the vice
hierarchy.
president, you have the hierarchy of governance, right? How? Explain it to me, because I don't know.
So that is where I come in, and I'm saying we have not declared war on the country. So
Right.
I'm not sure what powers we're using to go in. Like what was the extraordinary circumstance where we had to go in, take him out, and then now we're gonna input our own leadership, because that's what we're gonna see next. We're gonna put somebody in that is on the part, I would say, of the United States. That's what's gonna happen. That is what's going to happen. So I am curious to see. I'm just curious to see how we got here. How did we get to this point where we're just going to take you out and put in this new person? Because that's
And
what's gonna happen.
not only that, take you out, put in this new person, take your oil, sell your oil,
That we're going to take your oil, sell your oil, and what are you going to do about it?
and nobody's not doing anything. Now, this is something over the past couple of months I've been following, right? Trinidad and Tobago has been strategic. It's like Trinidad and Tobago was sort of brought into this whole thing here. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Prasad Bissessa, some people call her Trump little sister, but that's not the one what I'm talking about right now.
Trump sister.
She has supported everything. In fact, there is a radar, and some believe that the radar system that was supposed to come to Grenada, that the Prime
He
Minister
went to Trinidad.
of Grenada, he never said yes, he never said no. He's still waiting on a decision. And some people say that was the smartest decision. He just never responded, and then the
Right.
time just elapsed, and then things happened. And that was a good move, because if he said no, it would have been something else. If he said yes, people was already protesting on the street. But the question is now, Trinidad and Tobago, they had a strategic dragon deal, oil deal with Venezuela Maduro, right? And that is the bloodline of Trinidad and Tobago's economy is oil.
Right.
Oil, right? But then after she became so close with Trump, Venezuela, Maduro and his administration decided, you know what, we don't want to have nothing to do with Trinidad and Tobago. We canceling any oil. But is Trinidad and Tobago now in a position to really capitalize on this by saying, no, if Maduro is not there, they could negotiate that dragon deal now with the new administration that Trump is going to support, and Trump is going to support Trinidad? Was that strategic, you think?
It could have been strategic. I don't know if that they were looking, if Trinidad was looking that far ahead. But you always have to think, as a country, what side of this do I want to be on? And most of these smaller Caribbean countries, they want to be on the side of the United States. I've seen it with Jamaica. I've seen it with all these other countries. They want to be on the side of, even if their political beliefs are different, even if they do not support what's happening, they want to be on the side of the United States. Why? Because of the power, like you said. Now, the U.S. is going to stand to be a big part of the production of the oil, of Venezuelan oil. I think as a Caribbean nation, wouldn't you want to be on the side of the U.S.? Especially a country like Trinidad that have their own oil. Now they can have more barrels, right? Because now they have another source in Venezuela. So I think, of course, it's all strategy on the part of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, that's what some people are saying, that it was very strategic that Trinidad and Tobago placed themselves there. Because now they could negotiate on a very lucrative deal that would benefit them.
And I love what what the leader said. He said, "I have been kidnapped."
Yo, I'm watching this thing, right?
He said, "I've been kidnapped." Which technically, doesn't it? I mean, I think we're laughing, but it's not making sense what is happening.
True.
He was kidnapped.
He was kidnapped.
And I think we can all say yes, narco-terrorism, conspiracy to do this, we can all say that, Jay, right? But he was kidnapped. He didn't come of his own free will. There
Right.
wasn't no, was there an international warrant to get him? Was there a warrant?
Well, there was a bounty on his head. There was a bounty,
There's a
and
bounty.
he could even go as far. What about the ships that was stolen?
Mhm.
That's piracy.
Mhm.
They're talking about the African pirates and stealing that they
US.
took those ships,
Yes. Yes.
right? And the president of the United States is saying, we're gonna just take him,
Mhm.
sell him. That is thief.
Kidnapping.
He was kidnapped.
Mhm. He was
Well,
kidnapped.
And where's the lie?
Mhm.
Where is the lie? He was taken on his. He didn't come freely. You know what I mean. But and I don't know if is Maduro's sense of humor. He was giving thumbs up.
He was like waving.
Yeah, and Happy New Year. I don't know if he's just feel something that we don't know, or he's just not taking this thing seriously. He's just like a happy-go-lucky kind of guy right now.
Right. It's going to be interesting. The charges are grave. I mean, he could be facing a lot of time behind bars. He could be facing a lot. When you look at some of the charges, narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import. I mean, he's going to be facing a ton if convicted. If convicted, he'll be spending a lot of time on U.S. soil behind bars.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, Pfunde. In a court of law, you have to present evidence. Because in your job, your duty is to present your evidence to the judge. And then the prosecutor would present their evidence. And then the judge, hear this. Of course, it's not going to be a jury. I'm doubtful.
Right.
It's not going to be a jury trial, right?
It depends on, he has a choice. It can either be a judge or a jury. I don't know if I would.
How would it be a jury of his peers?
Or is it going to be a tribunal? What kind of trial does he get? I don't know.
It's in federal court. So it can't be a jury of his peers because none of these people in New York are his peers.
Yeah.
There was a warrant for his arrest issued in 2020.
Okay. I don't know what kind of trial he can get on U.S. soil. The wife, they're charging his wife as so she's a part of the conspiracy.
Yes.
So the wife, and I believe one of his sons, and
Yes.
then there's some, like his closest circle.
Yes, because
There's
again,
other
it's a conspiracy. It's a
Yes.
conspiracy. He's a
Targeting
part of
everybody. It's
conspiracy.
not just him, it's all of them together. So I would imagine, I don't know if he's going to get a jury trial. With trials like these, I think there are going to be some special rules in place to ensure that there's fairness. It could be a tribunal. It's not going to be, me and you, they're not going to put us on the juror. Like, we're not going to be called to serve,
I'm on jury duty, Pfunde.
I don't think we're going to be the ones there, but
Imagine I am getting to sit
just be
on.
things put in place. But I think on this soil, it's almost fair to say he's going to be convicted. Because when you look at the players, the Department of Justice, when you look at all the players, they would not have grabbed him without, they would not have gone after him without evidence. I can't see that happening. I cannot see that happening.
Listen, let's look at, and this might be far-fetched. This might be far-fetched to look at it from this perspective. P. Diddy was a part of a conspiracy trial. The DEA put up a good defense, or they tried to put up a good defense on conspiracy, narco, right? And he was found not guilty of that.
Yeah,
right?
they're hard cases to win. I mean, they're really, really, really hard cases, and that's why I'm saying we're holding our breath because we want to see the evidence. I imagine the CIA was in there. I don't think it was just I think there has been ongoing investigation. From what I understand, there was a warrant back in 2020 he was never arrested on. So I don't know if that's the warrant they kicked in. But I want to see the evidence. I will be watching this trial because I want to see the evidence. I want to see the witnesses. I want to see who's going to testify. I want to see all of this. But I would be curious to see how this man taken from Venezuela is going to walk away from this.
Right.
It's not going to happen. This man will be dying in a U.S. prison. He'll be writing a book and dying in a prison unless
He can't write.
unless there is I don't even if this administration changes, and they're going to make sure they fast track him to trial. He will be tried under this current administration.
But listen, Pfunde, listen, and I'm no lawyer, right? I'm just giving a very layman's perspective on this. Now, here is one way I think that his lawyers could kick the can down the road. One. Now, there's a lot of things that they have to do before they even get to the whole conversation of conspiracy, jurisdiction, all of these things. So they have to, the lawyers could kick that can down the road. Just like when I get a speeding ticket, I kick that can down the road for like 5 years. Until when I go back, they say the police officer resigned. Right? So they could kick the can down the road and waste time on the trial for the first part of it and say, well, let's look at jurisdiction. Did they have jurisdiction to get him out of there? And that would take time. And
venue is going to take the venue, jurisdiction, fair trial. There's some things that they can do strategically to make sure he gets a fair trial. Yeah,
and that is only how I think that he might get. Now, the other question I want to ask quickly, I know you have a hard stop at the at about 2 minutes. I had the question and I just lost it. I just lost it there. I had a good question too, and I just gone, done. Okay. Anyway, probably if you summarize, then I'm probably gonna get it again.
Oh, okay. So guys, in summary, the president of Venezuela, quote unquote, has been indicted. We have the indictment up on the screen. It's about 25, 26 pages. If you have some time, read it on your way home. For some people, they're saying this has nothing to do with me. Yes, it does. It's right in your own backyard. What are they charging him with? Narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import weapons, conspiracy to carry machine gun. Conspiracy to use and carry a machine gun. The charges to me, like, does that even make sense? I think this indictment reads like, hey, let's throw everything at him and see what we can get stick in the court of law. There was no war declared on Venezuela. The United States and Venezuela are not at war. At last, I think our consulate is still, I think it's still there. Our consulate is still there and running. So there's no war. There's no war declared in Venezuela, but we've taken out the sitting president of Venezuela. So now Venezuela tonight is without a president. Of course, we're going to put someone in.
Well, if the vice president would then become under
take over.
The vice president would take over. And I think,
you know what they're saying? It's the vice president who sold him out. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know. And I think the machine gun part is because the U.S. don't seem as a legitimate president. So the fact that they don't seem as a legitimate president, then all of these allegations, he doesn't have that protection
that a sitting president would have, which plays then into the diplomatic immunity. He probably won't be able to raise those kind of immunities since he's not a sitting president. But I'm sure there's some protections that can be given to former presidents if that's how they want to treat him.
Right. Well, listen, guys, we will continue to monitor this situation here with Venezuela and the U.S. Nicolás Maduro and the U.S. Pfunde. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, Jay.
Breaking down this indictment here for us on Ride Along Live. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Hey guys, so let's take your call there, 718-701-5720. We're talking about the indictment of the president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro. Today was his first court appearance. And as you suspected or expected, Nicolás Maduro pled not guilty. Well, his lawyers pled not guilty on his behalf. So it will go into trial and a process. Now, the question I had to ask that I forgot was the fact that if it was going to be a tribunal hearing, would it go through the process as it's going through now? When I say tribunal, like a military tribunal, I believe that Saddam Hussein trial went through a tribunal hearing, which is sort of different. The evidence that have to be presented, the information that have to be presented might be a slightly different than that of a regular trial, right? But this is a federal case and it's going through that the feds. We have the DEA presenting the evidence. You have him named as a defendant. He has an opportunity to plead not guilty, just like in any other case. And the Fed would have to present their information against or present their evidence. And his lawyer and his wife lawyer, because they both have two different lawyers, would have to provide and present their case as well. The judge will make his decision, and that's how it would go. So the question I wanted to find out, and probably other lawyers that watching, is that if it were to be a tribunal, or if it was going to go the route of a tribunal trial, would it go through the route that is going through now? Like, could it be changed, or do you have to go straight to the tribunal? I don't know, so I'm relying on some of my learned friends to answer that question. But definitely, guys, we're going to continue to follow this, because this is by no way finished, right? By no way. This has a lot of oxygen in it still, and Right Along Live will continue to cover these trials every single day. Summarize. I know you guys are busy on doing your own thing, but rest assured that every day Right Along Live will provide some sort of update on a regular basis on this right here on the platform. Let's take a quick commercial break. If you got a call, we'll take it live. You're watching Right Along Live. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please.
Okay, are you adding multi-X to your bet?
Yes, multi-X, all of them.
Smart! Best value bet. Backup and multi-X. You cannot go wrong.
Don't matter the bet, multi-X all of the daily games.
With multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Yeah, da 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 da. What boy? Yeah, what boy? What boy? The sun is hot, the breeze is slow. I need a ride. Where do I go? Ride go, yeah. That's the name. Island roads will never feel the same. Tap the app, just one click. Hopping fast, it's real quick. Right go, where do you wanna go? To the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Right go, the good vibe show, fastest growing ride, everybody know. Right go, where do you wanna go? To the beach, to the street, let the island flow. Right go, let the good vibe show, fastest growing ride, everybody know.
Where do you want to go?
And we are back here on Right Along Live, and saw the ad earlier with Ride Go, and people are still asking. For those of you who don't know, Ride Go is a rideshare app. It's similar to Uber, if you guys use Uber before, and it's here in Grenada. So it's very, very simple, guys. Very, very simple, and I really encourage you guys to go and check out Ride Go right now. Tap the app, download the app right now. And this is Ride Go. Right? Ride Go, RYDEGO. Simple concept. You need a taxi, you need someone to pick you up. You're someplace right now, you want to get to another place. You don't have to go and stand up in the taxi stand and sweat and walk down the road and find out who number taxi you have. No. It's easier than that. We are in 2026. Yes, we're in 2026. So here's what you do. You download the app. Right? We download the app right there, Ride Go. You download that app, RYDEGO. I'm saying because I want you guys to do it, you know. You download the app. Yes, I was saying it. I want you to do it. You download the app, Ride Go, in your app, from your app store, right? Whether you Android or Apple, you download that app. from your app store. Let me paste the link in the chat right there. There you go. You download that app and you just put your destination. Once you put your destination, you're going to be given about 5 different options of cars. You could go with a Ride S, which is a smaller vehicle. You could go with an XL, which is a bigger vehicle, or you could go with a luxury vehicle. You want to go with some friends, you want to go posh, you want a Tesla to pick you up, luxury type style, you could select that as well. The car is going to come to your location, pick you up, and take you where you want to go. Simple like that. It is 1, 2, 3. They're going to come pick you up at your home or your office, or if you're in a party, anywhere you're there, pick you up and take you where you want to go. And there's no cash transaction because your card is already on file. You just leave the car and say, good night, tell the driver, bye-bye. Right? It's a cashless system, right? It's quick, it's easy, and it's very affordable. Ride Go is actually cheaper than a lot of taxis, and it's the most cost-effective rideshare app on the island right now. Yes. So download the app. I always say tap the app, and call Ride Go right now. Ride Go. Yeah, man, get the app. This is 2026. This is not 2001. You gotta go and stand in a taxi stand and wait and stress and sweat. No! Ride Go. Download right now from your app store.
There's a new way to move in Grenada. Ride Go. Ride Go is here. Ride Go. Where do you want to go?
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Don't forget to check out beacongrenada.com. Yeah, that's beacongrenada.com. Affordable insurance from Beacon. Beaconinsurance.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today, guys. We're going to continue to follow this story and give you updates right here on the Ride Along Live. We thank you on behalf of all of our sponsors, all of our crew, the hardworking men and women right there at Ride Go. They work around the clock, 24/7, to make sure that you have accessible transportation. Big up to you. And the Ride Along team, Lois JJ, how you doing in New York? I hear New York cold, girl. I hear New York cold. Lois, I'll join you there shortly. Don't worry about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program, guys. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.